Hello, and welcome. It's been a long.
It's been 3 weeks.
That's long.
Can you believe it?
Not to do nothing.
Not to do a show. I missed our listeners, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I missed them. I missed
our guests. Mm-hmm. We missed you too, Sierra.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a new guest.
Yeah. First time.
And who are you?
Robert.
Okay, Robert. Tell us a little bit about you.
Single father, 2 kids. Born and raised in the city.
Mm-hmm.
Been here primarily my whole life, and just here to tell my story.
Okay, so how long have you been single?
Widowed since 2012.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's totally different than most of our guests. So that's
That's why me and him, we because he has a daughter.
Okay.
He has a son, but he has a daughter, and that's why me and him bond from playing basketball and being single with, raising our kids by ourselves.
Wow. So your path to this dating thing, I bet it's been very different than anybody else's.
It's been challenging, I'll tell you that. It's not what people make it out to be. They try to make a perception that dating is somewhat easy and that it's easy to go out and find someone. But the thing I've noticed the most is that people aren't genuine. Mm-hmm. And when they come out in the beginning and tell you what they want, what they're looking for, weeks or months down the road, you find out that somehow they have another agenda in play. So
I agree. Very true. Sarah, you have anything to add to that?
No, I totally agree because, I think people just want somebody. They don't necessarily know what they're looking for. It's just everybody's kind of going for what they know and they don't know much. So they just using that what they have and going for it. And nobody really wants to be alone, and then nobody wants to do the work that they need to do, internally. And then they just broadcast that out, whether they know it or not, into the dating sphere. And then, somebody else got to deal with it. Like, wait, I'm just trying to love you. I'm not trying to be a doctor, because you just turn into a mental patient. So
that's a whole nother story. Okay.
That might be another hour.
Hour by itself.
Yeah, we need a psychotherapist on here for all that.
Listen, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It's funny. I think a lot of people, when they start putting they want a relationship more than they want personal agendas for themselves, that's when people should run.
But you know what? They're really good at disguising their personal agenda, though. So you don't know until you all in, and then it's like,
right.
What?
Yeah. Because I was just talking to someone the other day, and I didn't know that this was happening to me. I have all these goals that I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
Start, wherever they could be.
Yeah.
And as soon as I start dating a woman, and then we act, because everybody know when you first get with somebody, y'all do a whole lot of talking. They know this, know that, all this, and they know what you do, the time, day, all that. And then all of a sudden, them days that you had them schedules, they there.
Ew. Wait, what? Like a pop-up?
Okay, say Wednesday, I got a class online.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, Wednesday come, I'm pushing the class back because they there. They know you got this class. But instead of them saying, oh, yeah, I forgot it's Wednesday. You go handle that, then get with me afterwards.
But you know what? You know what I would do, how I would handle that.
Pop-up.
Yeah,
is that right?
That's what they're called. A pop-up. And then you look up.
We got class.
Boundaries right
You
there.
look up 3-4 months down the road, everything that you was trying to do for yourself, you ain't doing it.
You know what? Because they're a distraction.
Yeah.
They're no good for you. But guess what? When they popped up like that and prevented me from doing what I needed to do, I would have blocked and deleted them. They would have been gone.
Black and
That's
delete.
why you gotta establish boundaries And you got to stay firm to it. You got to let a person know that, listen, this is what I have going on. This is my time frame for this. This is my time frame for that. And if they can't honor that, then like you said, they got to move on. But you have to yourself stay firm and rigid to that, because people will try to see if they can take your time.
Now let me tell the ugly side of that. If you ain't been having no sex, and this person come along, no, because if people know, you can get rid of. You can get rid of somebody faster if y'all not sexually involved.
Oh, for sure.
But when you sexually involved with someone, it's kind of hard. To let that go.
It is.
And that's what a lot of people be dealing with.
Okay, but see, that's why you're supposed to, like he said, set these boundaries before you start having sex with these people.
Well, what do people do
and
that have these personal agendas? What do they do the best? They lie.
They lie and manipulate.
Yeah.
And by then,
you in there.
Because let's be real. You know men was good at doing that shit.
Yeah.
And by then, they think
I think some women out there is
no. I'm talking
now. Not right.
No,
Learn.
I am saying that, but this is what I'm saying. They do that, and then sex involved. Now, the garbage bag come up.
Okay,
you know
what?
You know what I'm saying? And then that's how it used to be.
Yeah.
But now everybody's doing it to each other.
You know what? I just think, just based on my experience, there are telltale signs. I mean, we ignore them, and we may deny that we didn't see certain things, but if you're really honest, there's something there in the beginning that's going to indicate that you're going to have a problem later on.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people ignore a lot of stuff.
Right.
So this goes back to that filtering too.
Right.
I was just telling someone last night that you have to learn how to filter. You may have to go through a lot of people in order to learn how to filter properly. And if that's the case, that's the case.
Right.
But if you've got all this stuff going on and these people are distracting you, even if you had sex, Cassine, you got to decide, do I want my goal or do I want this distraction of some sex? I mean, you have to make a choice. And it's hard. And I'm not saying that it's easy. It's probably very difficult.
Yes, it is.
But
especially when you be in a drought.
Yeah, but
that's when the distractions. That's the best time for the cut. It be like, I know what to do.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah. I mean, it's very tough. Yeah. But you have to do what you have to do. That's if you really want to achieve your goals. Now, if you don't, I mean, it is what it is.
That was an old story.
Okay.
Tell us a new story.
Yeah.
That's old, because it's funny because me and somebody was just talking about it. He's saying this what's been happening to him since he's been single. This what's been happening. I said, look, it's certain things you got to put down. And my thing, I'm not being in no relationship with no woman if you're not trying to be in a relationship with my son. Period.
For sure.
And if I throw things out there to you to try to get you to join in and you don't do it, sweet, we
yeah,
cool.
well, then they don't want to be a part of that. Yeah.
So
but that happens a lot.
Yeah, I was going to say, how long do you wait before you try to bring them in the mix with, well, I mean, I know your son's older, but still.
Yeah. It all depends on the person.
Okay.
It depends on how much we seeing each other without him in place.
Okay.
That's what I base it on.
Okay.
Because I know Rob, you go through that. And he has a daughter too, so I know that's really hard.
You can't bring people around your kids. I mean, you have to establish a relationship with these people beforehand, because you have to think about it. Kids get attached to people, and you can't have this swinging door situation. Yeah. Especially daughters. I've got daughters. I'm not gonna have everybody around my kids. That's just not healthy.
You just have to be a little bit more diligent in how you go about it, because initially you have no idea yourself of who you are entertaining at this point. So you have to go even further beyond what you would normally look for to make sure, like, all right, what is this person's tendencies? What are their likes and dislikes? Do they have any ambition for children themselves separate from mine? And for me, that's an indication right away. If they want children, that potentially my children can be a part of their life. But until I see these steps take place, then it's a no-go for me.
Now, have you had more positive experiences with people who have had kids or people who don't have kids?
Personally, I have not dated anyone with kids.
Okay,
My situation has been that I'm the individual that has the kids, and they haven't had any kids.
You been on that streak too? I thought I was the only one.
Yeah,
Oh no, it's a wide street. It's like 8 Mile. It's pretty wide. I don't know. I personally, for me, this is a preference at this stage of my life and my age. I'm not looking for anyone that has kids. I have 2 of my own, and I'm not, shutting that out completely, but I know all the work it takes for my 2 kids, and then this individual will have a child or maybe multiple children. I don't know, but I know all the stuff that I'm going to bring, and I just think it's a potential for a mess possibly down the road.
Okay. So are you dating older women who don't want kids or younger women who don't want
pretty
kids?
much in my age group. I was
gonna say,
And
how
they
old are
don't
you?
want kids ever, or they just haven't had kids?
Well, I'm 40, so at this point, it's just people just haven't had kids for whatever reason. Either they couldn't have, children, or that just wasn't in the cards for them at this point. That being said, I have met people that, you know what I'm saying, and that they want children, and like I said, for one reason or another, they just couldn't have it, and
or they kept dating sorry men that knew that wasn't gonna be good fathers.
But yeah, that's true, and I kudos to them, because on the other end of the spectrum, you can have a sorry mother. And
but you ain't
I've heard a lot
that's
about
a whole,
those women.
That's a whole new ball game.
That's a whole new chapter now in the 21st century.
Yeah, it's a lot. I hear about that so much.
It's a lot of good dudes out here with their kids and doing the daddy thing.
And I was surprised because when I was married, I didn't think it was that way. I thought it was just the mothers. I knew single mothers. I didn't know single men. Then I've heard these stories about how some of these women, they were sleazy, and they just decided during the divorce they didn't want the kids. And I mean, I was just totally amazed. I mean, because I had never heard that before.
Yeah, same.
I think that's a perception that people wanted to have out there, that typically if you're in a marriage and the marriage fails and you have children, the children go with the mother. So by way of just perception and optics, it looks like, oh, well, the father doesn't want to be involved. When in fact, the father may be more involved than the mother ever was, even while the relationship was going on. But the optics of it is that, this child's with the mother all day. She's taking him to school. She's providing food and shelter for this kid that we know of based on what we see from the outside. But from the inside in, looking out, you're like, well, the father's doing everything. He's the one paying the mortgage or the rent. He's the one providing the vehicle. He's the one putting food in the refrigerator. He's the one doing these things. But society has it to where women get the glory and men get the garbage. And that's just the way it is. That's why your perception, up until this point, recently or whenever, is that, oh, wow, I never knew that there was this many men out there doing for their children in this fashion.
Exactly. Yeah, because all the men that I knew, they were married or they were just single, It was one way or the other. But,
So.
Yeah, I come across that story more and more, like, where it's the men are the father is the primary, but then the mother has custody. She's getting the child support, and and he's just kind of getting railroaded and stuff because of that perception, that men aren't really there for their kids. Mom is there, she's providing, but then you hear a lot of stories, and I see it myself where women just are not like that mother figure, not the mother figure that I grew up with or that my mother had that I'm used to seeing. And I'm like, well, what was happening on the other side, with my generation? And then you even, beyond that, you know, to where that wasn't the norm anymore. I'm like, I was going to school with these people, and they are terrible mothers today. And I'm like, well, what was your mama doing? It's like, I know what mine was doing.
Yeah.
She's telling me, come back in the house, and, you know, street lights on and stuff. And I'm like, well, what was your, you know, mother, family, and stuff like that, you know, putting those boundaries in place and make sure that you were a wholesome person, you know, and, you know, somebody that would be prepared to, you know, raise a family. So I think that's crazy by itself. I'm curious. I want to know how that happens, you know.
Yeah, how they were raised.
Right.
Yeah, it has to
That's
be
family
something.
structure. The family
it is.
structure is gone. When I was growing up, I had both my parents, brothers and sisters. Had my grandmother, grandfather, so forth, so on.
Aunts, uncles.
Now these houses are being divided where the father or maybe the mother in some cases is no longer in the house. So now it's a cycle of, well, all right, it's just repeating. Well, this child sees that, oh, my dad's over here, my mom's over there, and they don't have anything to build off of in terms of family structures such as family reunions, gatherings, come-bys, just pop-ups. You know, when I was growing up, my sister stayed one block away. I could walk down to her house. So at this point, it's just a breakdown of the system in terms of how we were raised. Nothing is the same anymore.
No,
There's no values. There's no support system.
Everything right now is screwed up. There's no more traditions. That's screwed up.
Yeah.
Everything is, oh, I do what I want to do and deal with it or not. Or, I mean, everything is screwed up, and it's hard to sit there even talk about it with people because you got people say, oh, no, I'm not doing that.
Right.
That ain't how it is no more.
Right.
You know?
You
And
know, you know where that comes from, though? You always have that one individual in the family that's like the linchpin, the glue, holding everybody together, bringing everybody together for functions, whatever the case may be. And when that individual passes away, it's like a domino effect. Nobody's there to pick up that slack. Nobody wants to do it, or nobody's capable of doing it.
Yeah.
Because this person may have been keeping person A from jumping on person B. You know, this person was the psychiatrist, the doctor, the babysitter,
with
everything.
no degrees.
Everything.
Well,
no
right.
degrees.
Cause that's how I am in the barbershop.
True.
I've been like that in the barbershop for 20 years.
But that's so true.
I didn't even know I had them skills.
But when that person passes on, there's nobody there to pick up that slack, which is going back to a part of how our families are breaking down in terms of how we raising our kids and so forth, so on. So.
Yeah, see, and that's why dating is so screwed up now.
That's what that was my thought. I was like, that's why dating is like it is because of that. You know, nobody knows what it means to really nobody really wants that, you know, because to be in a relationship and be married and stuff like that, you gonna be a matriarch at some point. You should be. I
just think a lot of men and women don't really know what they want. And then they think they can fix it by, I'm going to get in a relationship. I'm going to drag somebody into my mess.
You hit the nail on the head there.
Yeah, right.
I'm going to drag somebody into my mess.
Because I need company.
I need
Misery loves company.
I need company.
Exactly.
And you know what? And 9 times out of 10, it don't even have nothing to do with money.
That's very true.
It don't have
It's
nothing to
just
do with
something,
money.
they just need something satisfied.
They need something. They need to just get on somebody's nerve.
They got a void in their life. And they got to fill it by occupying your time, wasting your time, so forth, so on.
Yeah.
Being a distraction to you.
Right. Back
You got Wednesday class.
Okay, I was gonna let y'all know.
What's going on here?
Okay.
Right. She should have been like, baby, call me when you finish.
Right.
Yeah.
She
Let
waiting
me know when you
outside.
done. Then
my
I'll
God.
come by.
She's like, you need a pencil? I got a pencil here
I
for
would
you.
have been finished college by now.
Seriously?
That's
Yeah.
a problem.
Now I have a story, something similar. Like, okay, so in your case, so she was popping up at class, right? Or
No,
they-
I'm online class.
Okay. Oh,
Okay.
okay.
You know
Well,
what
I
I'm
have a
saying?
similar story.
You
Okay,
know
so
what I'm
that,
saying?
yes.
Okay.
Okay, so mine was this is somebody that I was in a serious relationship with. I won't say much more than that, but and the same thing. Like you know my schedule. You know when I have a test. You know when I got a big exam. You know I have all these different things. And I was telling somebody, and I'm like, and I was telling somebody the story, and he would wait until I was started the exam or whatever online, wait until I was good and through there, and have a breakdown. Blowing my phone up. Where you at? What you doing? And I'm like, I was just on the phone with you 5 minutes ago. You know, I'm like, I didn't, everything good. You was absolutely fine. And then I pushed the timer on this thing, and then you just turn into a volcano. And I'm like, I have to stop what I'm doing and then you know how people bait you into those conversations.
Yes.
So you be like, okay, well, I'm just going to answer this text and then be done. And then they start going. And then they text you a paragraph. And then you're like, well, wait a minute, where all this come from? So then you can't just be, well, sometimes you can. I've gotten a little bit more skilled. And I just be like, forget it. But most of the time, you care about them. So you don't want to just be like, forget you, I ain't about to answer. You want to respond. You want to reply. You want to care for them and stuff like that. And they pull on your caring side. And voila, you fail. You fail the test. Like that's happened many times. And it took me a little bit. And it was the same class. It was calculus. And then I had some other. I never passed that. I was almost close that one time. But anyway, that, and then it would just be a consistent thing. I was like, it was another one. It was my final. And I just tried to solve for that problem with me being online was, okay, well, I'm going to be in the house. I was like, with you. Kids there. I was like, kids keep you company. I was like, and I went in the living room. I was like, hey, okay, I've got this test. I'm about to take it right now. It's Sunday. It's in the afternoon. I got to get it done before midnight. He's like, all right, cool. So I go into the bedroom, do my thing, do the test and everything like that. This dude busts in the room and has a full-blown meltdown, and to the point where we are arguing. He had probably the worst argument ever. And I'm like, what is happening? And then not only is it just between me and him over text, but the kids there. He had a daughter, I had a daughter, and we went at it. And I'm like, it's again, all these tests are timed and all this other stuff. And it was just awful. It was really bad. I've never had anybody, it was a learning lesson or a lesson to be learned. I'm like, I made sure that became like part of, one of those things where I filter. I started looking for those things. Right, because I'm like, anybody that needs that much attention, that needs consistent reinforcement and just your attention, I was like, it's not for me. It's not for me. I'm way too ambitious. I want to finish school. I want to get through whatever I got to get through. And to have to stop like that is just too much for me. So, yeah, I feel for you, Kasim.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you have to have somebody who's supportive.
Yeah.
Very
And not
supportive.
I don't, and it's not gonna happen.
And it doesn't get better.
No.
If that person is
worse.
non-supportive in the beginning, that's the way they're going to be throughout until you break it off with them.
Yeah.
And I can't deal with that. I've got too much stuff.
Oh
Yeah.
no, I can't.
I
You got to be
can't deal with
self-sufficient
that.
and be able to take care of your,
I think people need to have their own things going on separately from their relationship. Because other than work, what are you doing with your time?
Own hobbies, things like that. But see, that's a part of what we were talking about on the last show with you, Sierra. I mean, are these people really ready to be in a relationship?
right. Right.
If you just, like you said, Robert, just come home, you go to work and come home and you watch TV all day, maybe you're not ready for a relationship. You know? You have nothing enriching in your life.
Yeah. And then to me, when you get in a relationship, I think that the perfect, well, not even the perfect thing, but what you definitely have to look for is when you get in a relationship with somebody, you should be building something. You ain't just getting, like we just get into them for sex or we get into them, to fill some emotional void. But if you're not building anything, then it's going to fall apart.
Yeah,
and that goes into, you need to have your own thing because am I helping you build nothing? You just sitting on the couch all day.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit on the couch with you all day.
No.
I'm like, there's way too much stuff happening outside of this house for us to just sit around and watch TV all day or play video games or just have sex all day. We got to be able to make this unit work and build. I think it was Michelle Obama said it like last month, she got with Barack because she saw, her dream team. She could envision, this, I have the most winning team that I have. She was like, I knew what I wanted. And I went after that. And I want to do that too. Like if I'm going into a relationship with you, I'm thinking about how am I able to make my family so strong that it can be us against the world. And we don't even think about stuff like that. We thinking about how cute they are. You know, we are thinking about the future. We think about how cute they are. Oh, he got a nice car. Oh, he got a little bit of money. Okay, but what he doing with that money? That money run out. Is he investing it? You know, what's the goal? What's the plan? What are you doing besides sitting around?
A lot of people don't listen to what the other person is talking about as far as goals and what they're trying to do. You know, because 9 times out of 10, they don't have them.
Right.
So if they don't have these things, why should they listen to me? Because you know me, I'm all over the place. She know. He even know. I'm all over. I'm doing this. I'm trying to do this. I'm talking about this. And I never met nobody that can sit there and go back and forth with me. So guess who go back and forth with all these things? My friends. Caprice, Chrissy, Yolanda in Atlanta. I go back and forth with it with them.
Exactly.
So I gotta get a woman that got all them in one.
Yeah, and that person is out there.
Because I'm all over the place.
That person is out there.
I mean,
Good luck with that.
It might take a little longer, but
yeah.
you know, I'm sure it'll be worth
Good
it.
luck with that.
Yeah, but a lot of, I hear so many men complaining. And it trips me out because I never hear men complaining about, man, I can't wait to get married. I can't wait to be with someone. I'm like, damn, what the hell is an epidemic going on? Because I'm going to tell you, some of the men I used to hear, like, you know, somebody I know who just always got something bad to say about women. Every time it comes out of my mouth.
They're not ready to.
And I'm like, you too old for that.
That's we too long.
Yeah.
Too old for that.
Everybody
They are
different.
named.
Damaged.
They this, they that.
Yeah.
And I have to stop them. Like, look, man, I don't want to hear that today.
Right.
I don't want to. Why you saying this or that? Or hey, you know, any of y'all come over this. What are you talking about? He look at me like I'm crazy. Like, dude, you got to stop your mentality
Yeah, that's
of how you
very
view
immature.
women.
Don't nobody
Because
want
you
that.
mad because you can't do what you want to do with them.
That sounds like in some cases that person has put all their eggs into a basket and it didn't work out. So now they view everybody through the same scope as if I'm going in knowing you already on trash at some point.
You know what that person is? A narcissist.
Oh, well.
That's a whole
Which is
different
gonna be
story.
I know.
I know.
It's gonna be another
topic.
show.
I was, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be ready for that one.
Oh no.
Yeah.
We gonna do it. Listen, viewers. We gonna do a show on that. What I just said. Please get in touch with us so y'all can come on and get busy with this topic. Yes.
Yeah, we definitely have to do that show.
Yeah, we
That's
doing
gonna
it.
be a fun show because a lot of people think they know what a narcissist is, but they really don't.
Yeah.
So we're gonna clarify that for you guys.
Yeah.
And give you examples and all that good stuff, and possibly tell you how to get out of the situation if you're in
That
one
part.
with them,
That.
because it's a toxic relationship.
Yeah.
And
Don't
it doesn't
wanna
get
be
better.
in anything toxic, especially at an older age.
Oh, no.
At any age.
Yeah.
Any
Wouldn't waste no
age.
time.
No.
But I think when you're younger, though, you're a little bit more forgiving to this. You put up with a whole lot more than you will after you reach a certain threshold in terms of your age, whether it be 30, 35, 40.
I think
'Cause
all young people are toxic.
You can look at the end of the road.
No, I'm
But
serious.
you know what? You're not
Now we got to define
listen.
young people.
They don't know what they want yet, though.
Listen,
They have no clue what
Every
they want.
young couple I know,
Well,
They
there's
are-
some of them.
who?
There are some young people who do know what they want. They're
I
very
would,
clear.
if I had to personally put it at a percentage, I'm gonna say 15%. The reason why is you got all these other outside factors that's weighing in on their relationship, whether it be her friends, his friends, status, what her friends think he ain't got,
Likes, comments.
yeah.
Well,
You know what I mean? And then that person is not comfortable enough
All
in
this-
themselves to understand this is what I want. What you talking about over there, you living with your mama, you done ran through 3 or 4 dudes in 6 months, but you want to tell me how to live my relationship. You know what I'm saying?
That's a lie. That's a lie.
I'm just saying. That might be a little excessive, but that's how it is.
That's not excessive.
No,
You
it's
listen-
like that
you
out
listen
here
kinda
now.
low.
Yeah, no.
You listening to people
Yeah, these-
who aren't qualified to give you advice.
Exactly.
Well.
But you know what? I just think I have friends who are like Indian, I have friends who are Chaldeans. I mean, just from other cultures, and it's not the same thing. They get married early on because that's the way they were socialized. So I think it has something to do with the communities that you grew up in, just like you were saying.
Yeah.
They're not getting that. I mean, their friends are telling them, man, when are you getting married? I mean,
Yeah.
You're 25. Why aren't you married? Why don't you have kids? Why don't you have your house? Why don't you have this? So, if you're not getting what you want in one community, maybe you need to go to a different community. I'm just saying.
And stop accepting excuses.
That too.
Stop accepting. A lot of people
Exactly.
accept excuses.
Exactly.
Okay.
They do.
I was gonna say, it seemed like you had
And
so
we don't have
specific on your mind when you said like stop it. I was
Exactly.
like,
I was waiting
no.
for something else.
what else?
I'd like to hear a few examples.
What
I have
excuses?
my own possibly, but I'm really interested in
Let's
what
hear
you
yours.
all have.
You the guest.
All right.
I talk all the time on the third quarter. Let's hear yours.
Excuses as far as relationships?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't have enough time. Work's getting in the way. Your kids in the way. Your mom in the way. Your dad's in the way. Why you got to do this today? Why you got to take that extra job right now? Can't we just, sit here in the house and this, that, and the third? Like, no. I got to get this done because this is my plan. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to take a back step because you want to sit in the house and watch basketball wise. We can DVR that and watch it later if I choose to watch it.
Exactly.
So that's an excuse, but why
Yeah, I
people
kinda had
accept
it.
them is...
Mine was a little different.
Okay, well, let's hear yours.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what we
We're
were
waiting to hear yours.
I just heard this the other day.
Okay.
Friend of mine, she met this guy. They talking. And every time they get on the phone talking, every time she's talking about what she's doing, what she developed and going to school, when he was trying to match her, oh, well, I started to go to school, but I only got 3 lugs on my tire. And I couldn't get like them. It's like that.
Okay.
Like he never completed anything.
Oh, okay.
So why is she
You
talking
know what I'm
to
saying?
him?
So
That's my point.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's my
she's
point.
wasting her time.
That's my point.
she just
Them excuses.
believe in the
What he needs to do is just shut up
Yeah.
and stop trying to match her energy.
and just leave her.
Do it another way.
No, forget that. You can't wait for these people to leave you. You leave them.
Yeah.
You have to decide. You have to
You
be
have to-
proactive. If it doesn't fit, guess what? Leave it.
Leave it.
Leave it where it is.
Yeah, and I can just to piggyback, as far as
Yeah.
excuses and stuff, you don't have to accept those. You're not married to that
No.
person. Save that energy for when you get married and then you stuck, because it's cheaper to keep them.
Every time
You know,
because
but
when it
no
comes
good,
to school or anything you have to do to better yourself.
Yeah, that's not good.
You do not need nobody but you to do it.
Yep.
Nobody but you do it. Now it's wonderful when
If
you
you
do
have-
these things
right.
and then somebody come along, hey, you need some paper? You got some new pens? You know what I'm saying? Oh, let me bring these over here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That kind of assistance, but you know what I'm saying? I can't get an assist.
So now I'm
know?
curious, okay, so knowing that person that's constantly making excuses, what do you think or why do you think those people are comfortable making so many excuses? You know what I mean? Like, what kind of person is
because
that?
the
But
people they meeting keep letting them get away with it.
Yeah.
And it just continues
Leave their ass alone.
faster and faster to the point because it go back to what you were saying. The person get into a relationship because maybe the sex was good or you just need something.
No, this is no sex involved.
no sex involved.
This when you first talking to
So,
them.
Well,
okay,
you
so
looking
then-
for somebody though, and you willing to accept anything, really.
Or you're just desperate.
That's what it sounds like.
Right. That's what
you're
I'm
like a pick me. Remember, pick me.
Yeah.
And then,
that's
and
right.
then
we
you
did.
know
We
what I
talked about
heard
that, yeah.
that really came. What I heard that came out of her mouth.
Crazy.
Well, he seemed like he got a little potential.
We're not going to even talk about potential, okay?
We didn't.
Because
I'm just
I
telling
have
the story.
Cliche back on the show all upset, okay? And other listeners, okay? Listen, you don't
Yeah.
want to deal in potential. Forget potential. That's
I hate that word.
Yeah,
That's nothing.
It's so played out.
That's
if
that's
that
a
person is
loser.
not actively
That's a
doing what they
loser
need to
word.
do or whatever when you meet them, what are the chances that it's gonna happen? It may or may not.
That's a loser word because once you
think
reach
it
a
should
certain
be
age,
attached
a
to
certain
adults.
plateau in your life, come on now. As long as you got some kind of strength for whatever God you serve, you should be able to do whatever you want to do and get it done.
You can.
And if somebody want to come in and assist you,
That's fine.
that's fine. But get it done yourself.
But you know what? We can't keep blaming the other person. We have to be responsible for our own destiny. So guess what? When you meet these people and they're doing this stupid stuff, you get rid of them. I mean, that's what we have to do. And I mean, and this is more so for the women. Men are good at this. You can leave a woman, even if you're having sex with them, whatever. You can leave a woman. But women, it's very difficult for us to leave somebody once we've established a connection. It doesn't even have to be a sexual connection. You know, we feel sorry for them. We want to save them. We want to do all these things. But you can't do that. That's not a part of the 21st century healthy dating.
Yeah.
You know, you need to find out what's in you that feels that you need to save everybody else. You need to save yourself first. And then get somebody healthy, and then you guys have a great relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is crazy. We can't make
I
excuses
think a
for
lot
other
of people be doing. A lot of
Cannot
people
do
be trying
that.
to save somebody.
I'm not trying to save anybody. It's not worth it because you're gonna drown yourself. Just like you in that situation, long time ago. You know what I'm saying? That woman, you, for whatever reason,
Which one?
The one who came over on Wednesday.
Oh,
That
okay.
one, you dealt with that, and you probably drowned dealing with that situation. That person set you back.
Canada.
I want to know about Wednesday.
I thought you was about to talk about Canada or something.
No.
It's somebody else.
The border been closed.
You know, it's
No
just
more talk.
ridiculous.
You look so disgusted in your face.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
You just have to save yourself. You can't, you know, when you see the signs, the red flags, you've got to go in the opposite direction.
Yeah.
Because if we don't,
People
You know
good
what's
at
gonna
masking
happen.
that though.
You're going to get a ticket.
may kill you, okay? It just may kill you.
Why do y'all think dating, the easiest thing to do now should be to date, but why is the hardest thing to accomplish? And you know, we talk about that like this shit should be so easy.
Well, I'll chime in. I'm mine quick. One thing that I kind of reconcile with myself is that, you know, you got, where we at, like 7 or 8 billion people in the world, and I'm looking for one. You might go through a lot of people because you're looking for one special person and a sea full of people that are not for you at all. So that is why I feel like, okay, it's gonna be a little rocky, it's gonna be rough, and you got to filter through. You know, obviously, I don't have access to all these billions of people, but for my community, you know, the millions of people that, I think we still got 1 million people or so in Detroit, maybe less.
No.
It's half. It's a 500,000, ain't
No.
it? Okay.
The thing is that
We'll just say 1 million people, you know, that I might have access to in Michigan. You know, that's my dating pool, and I'm only looking for one person. One special person, because I'm not just looking for anybody that can fill the shoes. Like, you can find somebody that you know, checks all the boxes, and the vibe still will not be right. You know, you still may have a issue with the communication, or it just may not be that, you know, they just spark something in you, and, you know, that always make you want to push and be better, or it can be everything is checked. And I've had those type of scenarios where this person checked every box and it still wasn't right.
yeah.
So I think it's just you looking for one person. I mean, you might have more success if you want to do a group, and you just gotta you can build a person or build what you want by getting 3 or 4 people together. Cool, but
That shit would be
But
so
that
nice.
don't sound like checking every box though. To me,
Okay.
to me, that's my opinion, because The issue I think you're going to end up finding is you're going to find somebody that might be in a different stage of life than you are. You might be in the same general age group. This person is going to have these different goals, or no goals at all per se that that you see are valuable. But it's an obstacle course because, all right, this person, like you say, they checked off this box, this box, this box, and then this area here, they're lacking in, but because they see that that's something that you desperately want, I don't want to say desperately, that you're looking for and that you require, they put on this front.
That does happen.
Okay, well, you might be religious. You want this person to be religious. Oh, I've been to church in 10 years. They saying in their mind, but to you, we can go to church next Sunday. So now they already starting a sequence of lies and betrayal per se that you like, well, I thought you said this. And 3 months down the line, you're like, well, how are we supposed to proceed if in the beginning? So I don't see that as being checking off all the boxes. I don't think personally you can check off all the boxes in a relationship, period, because somebody's going to have a weakness that's your strength and vice versa.
You know what the problem is when it comes to stuff like that? People need to be honest in the beginning and really say that if you don't go to church, you don't go to church. We say, oh, well, I go to church. I say, well, I don't go. Well, why you don't go? I just don't like church.
But people don't
I don't like church. I got it, but that don't stop me believing in God. That don't stop me from doing and being right every day. I leave and walk out of my house. Just because you go sit down in somewhere.
But people don't come forth with everything in the beginning for whatever reason because they feel like, oh, you may not like me as much if I don't this or that or the third.
Yeah, people scared of that.
And they scared of the rejection that may come or may not come. You know what I'm saying? I myself have been guilty of withholding information because that's what that is. Because somebody told me a long time ago, a part of the truth is a whole lie. So if I'm telling you only this much, come down the line, you see this, that, and the other. Now you like, well, what the hell going on? Like, I thought that, we was ready to proceed into something else, and here we are. We stuck on something we should have addressed the first week or two. So I just dealt with a situation. People don't like telling the truth. There is nobody in this world that likes telling the truth. I
have been told that I tell too much.
Yeah, and the reason that's what?
Because I'm giving them the chance to run now.
Yeah,
people are
I told her that. She told me that before. Like, I don't think you. They say you tell too much. I said, so I don't care because I'm giving you a chance to run out. Because this me. Yeah. Because at one point in time in my life, I didn't talk at all. No communication at all. Didn't care at all. Now I learned how to communicate. Oh, I'm telling. I do know what to tell and say.
Right.
But I'm laying this on the line now, so I'm giving you a chance to get the hell out of Dodge.
People are afraid of that.
At least just go across 8 Mile.
I'm looking for that quote from Lauren London at Nipsey's funeral. That's what I'm looking for when she was basically saying that she took off her mask and she revealed herself to him. And because he was doing what he authentically was supposed to do, it just made her a better person.
Right.
So I think that's what we need to do. And we will have better relationships,
I think
if you are doing what you need to do and then you keep it real, I know it's scary.
Right.
It's scary to do that, to be authentic. Then you'll meet somebody who's doing the same thing.
I feel like when you are really dating and involved with someone, the energy that person give you, they don't have to tell you anything. You're gonna go out and do things just because you in something positive, and you because of how so positive, and everything they do with you is damn near right. You doing things and you're not even. Damn, I got so much positive energy over here. Damn, I done went and signed up for this. I done found a ballroom class. You know what I'm saying? Like stuff, they don't even have to say anything to you. You should not have to be with somebody and be telling them things that they need to do. All the time. I mean, I can understand you telling to them, hey, you think you know, but drilling in them, no. That's what you need a dog for.
That sounds like you found a person that's not only compatible, but they told their truth, even with, like you said, without saying anything. They giving you that energy to motivate you to do, like you said, things that you didn't expect to do or even see in the cards for you to do. And you find yourself in a better place, which overall brings your relationship in a better place. Mm-hmm. But nobody has time to sit there, like you said, I thought you said you was going to do this today. You said you was going to fold the clothes. Or you said you was going to meet me at the gym. Or I thought we was supposed to go to the movies or go look at whatever the case may be. You just find yourself in a place where you just like you say, you don't need to raise another human being in a relationship. Mm-hmm. You don't need to become a father or mother figure to that person, because that's going in reverse. That's completely backwards.
I agree. I found a quote. Mm-hmm. It says, Aramis, I want you to know that I feel real joy in my heart when I'm around you. I feel safe around you, protected like a shield over me when you're around me. She said, I love you so much unconditionally. My truth is this. I'm never going to give you up my love and my devotion to you. And she goes on to say, Aramis used to always say that you can't possess a person, that you can only experience them. And I'm so honored and blessed that I got to experience such a man. The love of my life, you know what it is. Grief is the final act. My heart hears you. I feel you everywhere. I'm so grateful that I had you. I love you beyond the earth. And then she told the story about how he would use the sage to protect them. Mm-hmm. You know, it's about protection. And a lot of these men, they don't know anything about that. Ooh. Okay?
Yeah.
You know, it's little things that a man can do, just like that. Yeah. But he was more conscious. These guys are not conscious.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's like
they have so much other stuff going on, and
yeah, and then when they're with you, they're not present. Yeah. So if you get a man who doesn't really have himself together, he can't protect you in words or by his actions or whatever.
Right. Shouldn't a woman know the person she with?
How can you fully disclose to that person? I can't.
I don't understand women.
I can't. I'm going to tell you something. When I first met him, I'm running my mouth, being the woman that I am, not paying attention. We're crossing the street. And what did you do?
He must have stopped you.
Yeah, she's about to get hit.
All he did was that, because I wasn't even paying attention. I felt totally protected around him. And I trust him, and I felt protected.
That's very good. I think that is so true, because it's relationships where you feel totally protected and you open up more. You do much more for somebody that doesn't show you those qualities. I know I do. You know, I'm like, that's the stuff I'm looking for before I open up, and before I have, because after that I'm like, okay, well, I'll tell you anything, you know, because I feel protected, you know, whether it's a physical thing or you just can tell that, you know, he has that stature, you know, when you guys are out and stuff like that, and you know, you can feel it. Yeah,
I was not paying attention, but he was.
Right.
Okay, and that's how it's supposed to be. You know, he was conscious, and I wasn't at that point.
That's a very good relationship trait. You can tell, like, okay, I'm like, you got hubby material already. I was like, you got that one thing on the bottom, you know.
I've been having that for a long time.
But see, and a lot of women are complaining they're not getting that. Mm-hmm. I know a girl was just complaining. She said that she went somewhere, and these guys were saying things to her, and her guy didn't say anything back.
Oh, yeah.
And she said she didn't feel protected.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that'll make me withdraw, and I'd be like, all right, this got to end. This gonna have to end right now. Because
I think women should run when they don't feel protected by a dude. They should get the hell out of Dodge.
You have to, and that's what she said.
Yeah.
So she felt protected, then she was able to lean back, you know, and fully disclose.
Yeah. I mean, I think men need that too, though. You know, however, you know,
but more so for the women,
right? More so for the women. I think women mess up because we don't create an emotional safe place for men to open up, you know? And I think that's where because I mean, we ain't gonna protect them or nothing like that.
No,
but
that's why I was sitting here
like, no, I'm not. Listen, I mean, I want nothing to happen to you, but I think for men it's more important, you know,
I'll pray for you.
that right, you know. But I think like emotionally and stuff like that, I think women today, because we're all, you know, so independent and we're all millennial and all that other stuff, you know, and we so into our own thing, we forget that. And this might go back into the narcissism thing where it's like, I'm more important. Everything I got going on is more important. And I can't see beyond what I got going on, you know, to consider and ask you, hey, how was your day? You know, at the end of the day and everything like that. And then, you know, I think women come across men and be like, man, he's not really opening up. He's not emotional with me. He's not talking to me. Why would he want to talk to somebody that's not present? You know, we can say the same thing in the relationship, you know, and I think there's a lot of women that are very, very selfish and they just want to be pampered, entitled. And then, you know, they just want the man to be like another servant. Like, okay, well, I just want you to do the little things that I need you to do. And that's it. And I think it has to go both ways. You know, the man wants to feel safe. I want to feel safe. You know, for different reasons in different ways. And then I think things will flourish a little bit better, dating-wise, you know, and then going forward.
I agree.
Y'all got quiet.
Well, no, you hit a point. You hit a point I wanted to talk about a little bit as far as the emotional protection.
Yeah.
In terms of what I think that's something that every man requires and needs. You're going to get beat up enough when you walk outside that door by the world that when you come home, you want to know that there's an individual there to hear what you have to say, to not critique everything
I can't never
that
get
you
that.
do.
It's, so many people are so me.
Yeah. You know,
Can't
you
never
come
get that.
home, you know, your wife, your girlfriend, whoever, whatever title that individual has, they in their phone or whatever they're doing, or that's totally separate from what, you know, oh, babe, I had a rough day at work today and this, oh, well, you know, for real. They're not engaged in anything you have to say. You know, you just may need to just vent and just go off on a rant for 5 minutes just to get that off your chest and then leave it at the door so that your household won't be affected.
Right.
But like you said, they become selfish, or they are selfish going in, really, when you think about it, because this can't be nothing new. This is something that's already been embedded in you. That they're like, well, you know, I just need what I need, and what you got going on, you a man, you need to suck it up, and you need to get a pair because, you know, I was told that, you know, my daddy wasn't like this, or you know what I mean. So I think that to me is like, if not the top thing that's missing in most of these relationships, is a close second.
That's a valid point.
Like I say, because a man, like you said, you want women as a man wants a protector, and they want to know, like you say, when you go out, you got this.
You know what men need to stop doing? Just because it didn't work with this woman, don't get with the next one and don't.
Right, don't be open.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
And vice versa. See, I'm open all the time. I had to learn how to start doing that. And that's what men got to stop doing, because every woman is not the same.
No.
Every one of them is not the same.
But then the women need to do the same thing, just like what he's saying. You know, she may have had a bad experience with somebody, and then this guy needs some nurturing and some support, some emotional support, and she can't provide it because she's still stuck with the last guy. And I think a lot of women need to learn how to communicate a little more effectively. I mean, they yell, they scream, name call. I mean, I've heard some ridiculous things.
Yeah.
Okay, and it just doesn't make any sense. You know,
Totally
and they really don't know how to be supportive. I don't know too many women, when a man does something that they don't want them to do, who can calmly have a conversation with him and say, hey, babe, this is how you made me feel.
Right.
Can we work on this, or whatever, however she wants to say. No, they go from 0 to 100.
Right.
Name calling, being disrespectful. That's a problem. That's a problem for men.
I think so.
And because, you know, we've had that conversation before. Yeah, because I know I've had somebody, they did something that I didn't care for.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that it was really that bad until they mentioned it. And they were like, and I was so calm, and I presented it to them, and they were like, you know, I'm so happy that you weren't bitchy about this.
Right.
But why would I? I mean, I care, and I want us to have a solid foundation. So why am I going to bite your head off? I just want you to know where I'm coming from. And if you care enough about me, then you'll make an adjustment.
Right.
And then we can go forward. But if you choose not to, then forget about it.
Right. Absolutely.
We can end it here.
Right, exactly. I mean, that's super important. Like, I'm not going to try and chew your head off because that's just going to make you run away. You know, I'm going to try and nurture it. Make sure that you feel that I want you to be here. Like, oops, okay, I messed up or you messed up.
Exactly.
But I'm not going to just go off on you because I still want you to be here. I want you to close off. You know, so.
And a lot of women don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
And that's a problem.
Yeah, we don't process emotions well. Sometimes when we get mad, it's, you know, and it's just like, well, wait, let me take a second. Is it really that bad?
And
it's not that bad.
It is not. It's not. It's not at all.
Okay, so today is we're not going to do a 2-hour segment. We're going to do an hour.
Yes.
And our hour is up. And I like to think, I always like thinking Sierra.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we might have to have
She's
a 3 co-host show. We might have to do a 3 co-host show. And Sierra, Robert.
Yeah, Rob was dope.
For coming in. Thank you, because I called him at the last minute.
Dope.
And he showed up on me.
I've been wanting to come on the show
Yeah.
for some of these other topics, too. I really want to come back for the narcissist one.
This
though.
what we're going to do.
Okay.
The next
We'll
show.
have you back.
Right.
Oh, I'll be
These
ready.
two will be back.
Yeah, because the next show is about
Narcissism.
And y'all viewers, I seen y'all, you know, I did a little watch party thing. I seen y'all want to come on, join the next show. We doing it in 2 weeks. So please get in touch with me so I can fill these seats up and be done, because we already got 2 of them filled.
Oh, yeah.
And we got to
So we
get
need,
the other 3
more.
Yeah.
filled. And please get in contact me, and thank Detroit Podcast, Randy, for meeting us here today. And that's it. 2 weeks. We out.
All right.